Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick and mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I am passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you were meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Inspire and Move podcast, and I am so excited for today's special guests, plural. Not one, not two, but two beautiful humans are joining me here in Pearl Street Studio. It's my neighbor to Benchmark Fitness. I love recording here in person, and I am so excited to welcome today's special guests, Kelly Childs and Erinn Weatherbie, the owners of Kelly's Bake Shop in beautiful downtown Burlington.
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you. We're so honored to be here, and we're just so excited.
I'm so happy to have you here. And Erinn, I know you and I already had the joy of recording together a couple months ago, but we were looking at screens, and this is so much better looking at your beautiful faces than through a computer screen.
100%. And we're honestly just so excited just to jump in because we have so many exciting things to share.
I know. And for anyone that's watching this on YouTube or obviously sees the clips on Instagram, we are surrounded by so many amazing Kelly's cupcakes. We've got branding pieces, and I just feel so cocooned in the energy that is Kelly's Bake Shop.
That's what we do. We go big. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so where I want to start is chatting about the journey of Kelly's Bake Shop. I want the idea of when, how it started, and a little bit of what we were doing before, because I know we were chatting about this before we hit record, what you were doing before Kelly's Bake Shop, and then when the idea hit you to open the bake shop and what that whole journey has been.
Go for it. Start it.
Well, so we started Kelly's Bake Shop. It was never intentional. We never set out to do that. We started a vegan restaurant in downtown Burlington called Kind Food, and that was back in 2010. And from that point, we were just going we kind of went into plant-based eating ourselves. We were filled with such, I guess, that passion of when you're starting something new, and we wanted to share it with the world. And this sweet little location showed up on John Street. We went, you know what, this is a no-brainer. Let's just do it, and let's create this thing that we've always wanted to do. And Kind Food came to me on actually a vacation, and I was just thinking about, something that was kind to the animals, but kind to the planet and kind to your body. And I went, oh my God, it's Kind Food. That's what it's going to be. And I secured the URL right away. Flew back home. We went, okay, this is it now. We're going to jump in full throttle. And Kind Food was an instant hit in downtown Burlington. And we were just, inundated with just so many people that were curious about this way of eating, just, natural, wholesome, organic, beautiful, just whole food. And but I was baking at the same time. Erinn was in university, but joining me every waking moment that she had for the weekends and when she didn't have courses through the week. And the baking part started in Kind Food. And before we knew it, went, wow, there's this huge demand for it. What's going on? And then seeing the happy faces. And it was that was really where it was born.
And if I can add to that as well, we saw the demand for our baked goods it skyrocketed. There were mornings that we were back there baking in our 200 square feet of the Kind Food baking space, which is hilarious when you reflect back on that we would have every horizontal space covered in cupcakes and cookies and frosting. And then at a certain point, we would have to flip over our morning prep to do all the savory food. And we were like, we can't do this anymore. We are literally bursting at the seams because of the demand for our baked goods, and also the demand for the cafe food as well was just surging and skyrocketing. So we looked at each other and we just said, oh my gosh, we need to find a location. And lo and behold, the most perfect location presented itself to us, which is right on Brant Street, so right in the heart of our beautiful community of downtown Burlington. And we opened our doors there in 2012. December of 2012. So 12 years ago now, which is unbelievable to even think that.
We were so terrified.
So terrified.
That sounds about right.
We were terrified.
I know you
Terrified.
didn't totally know what to do.
We had no idea.
So what if no one comes through the doors?
Yeah.
Like that was it? Like what happens if no one shows up?
Yes, and it was unbelievable because on our grand opening, I mean, we were still figuring everything out. We're still figuring out how our point of sale was working and how our cupcakes were gonna look, and oh my gosh, someone screwed up a recipe, and it was just total chaos. And I just remember looking, and there was a lineup of probably 100 people waiting to get into the business. And I was like, oh my gosh, like people actually want what we're doing right now.
We started to cry.
Just a beautiful moment. And then the grand opening was spectacular, obviously, just a beautiful, love-filled day. And then the next day we were like, are people gonna come back again? Like, are we just gonna keep coming back? And they did. And 12 years later, here we are.
Well, first of all, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
It's so exciting. I actually, well, obviously I follow you guys on Instagram. And seeing all the stories and the shares from the recent 12-year anniversary, I feel like you had also posted some photos of like the grand opening. And Erinn, I mean, I know that you and Michael have been together for many, many years, your husband. Yeah. And looking at the photos of you and Michael specifically, I was like, oh my gosh, this is adorable. Like, looking at how you guys have grown through the business and journey of Kelly's.
Absolutely.
Of being a totally different version. And I remember when you got engaged and when you got married. And I think that's such a beautiful byproduct of entrepreneurial journeys. Is having that personality of your personal life and your own personal growth journey woven into the growth and journey of the business.
Absolutely. I love that. And because I was 22 when we opened Kelly's Bake Shop, which is unbelievable because I was a completely different person then than I am now. I'm 34 now. And when I was 22, I was like, I don't know how to manage people. I don't know how to do this. I don't like, what are we even doing? And to actually have that beautiful journey, like you're saying, and evolve as a human being along the way is just such a magical thing. And I know you've experienced the same thing too.
For sure.
Which is wild.
Who starts a business like this out of left field? I was 48 at the time. And to still be conquering it as, every day, I don't think of myself as any older. I still think of myself actually as around 35, so.
We're the same age.
That's what that sisters, right?
Yeah. But I don't regret a moment of it. And I'm just so grateful for my life and the maturing and the evolving and the expanding, and, letting some things go and then moving that path or going, this way. Like you're just constantly moving, right? And assessing which way to go. But there's such a beautiful liberation to be able to do it on your own. Like you're not being told, as a 9-to-5, with a boss, etc. The freedom to have when you're your own boss is just you can't put a price tag on it.
And you're in the driver's seat for whatever you want.
Such a beautiful feeling.
Build and create and expand. And I love that you've used the word expand. It's one of my current favorite words, and it's very much a season that Matt and I are in with building Benchmark, and I know that you are in as well for the Bake Shop, which I want to get to. But I have a couple more clarifying questions. I want to know, Erinn, what did you study in school?
So I studied political science and labor studies. So like random and like, am I using any of it? And you know what's so funny is that I remember being in university and being like, is this it? Like, is this really what like life is all about? And I remember it honestly felt like fingernails on a chalkboard to be like in school and being in that like rigid sort of environment. And to me, when I was outside of school, I was like, and being at the business, being at Kind Food at the time, I was like liberated. It was just this energy that was going through me. And I was like, okay, like this is living. What I'm doing right now in school, feeling like I need to be in university, just isn't. It's not clicking for me.
Yeah, I think it's a form of prison.
I was like, no, we are done. We are done.
Yeah,
like, oh gosh, awful. Yeah.
Is there anything from university that you feel that you were able to extract and then apply to leading a team, building a brand, running a business?
You know what's interesting? I honestly don't think so. Like, I honestly don't. I feel like I've learned so much through the school of hard knocks, not be cliched, but to learn through actually growing and building a business, I have learned leaps and bounds to what I could have ever learned in school. Even if I would have studied business management or business administration or marketing in school, to me, you don't learn to the degree that you do when you're actually thrown into the fire.
Well, how do you learn from a professor
Yeah.
who doesn't have any business experience?
Right, who's just teaching out of
So
that
true.
capacity. So, yeah.
And I know that both of you are also passionate consumers of personal development, similar to myself. And I think there is so much that we can learn and extract from leaders like Tony Robbins or Brendan Bouchard, and that you've both attended in person some really amazing events.
Absolutely.
How has personal development played a big part in building the brand, building the business, leading a team, and even also navigating the journey of entrepreneurship as mother and daughter?
And that's actually probably been our biggest challenge. If to be that, because Erinn and I are very open people, but because that's what life should be. And what you see is what you get. So authenticity is everything to me, and I know everything to us. And we definitely knew that we had to work on our communication and the frequency that we held with each other when we were in each other's presence, and boundaries, as we had mentioned earlier. Creating, balance is sort of a word that gets used, I think, too much, because I don't think there's ever a balance in entrepreneurship. I think that you just are in entrepreneurship. Like, to find a balance is something that never really gets achieved. You just become.
Maybe some harmony.
Yes.
Yeah, so we definitely had to work on that. We hired a coach actually for us.
Amazing.
To get us through how to communicate and stay in our own lanes, because I was a control freak, absolutely. And Erinn.
And I was too. I mean, I still am a little bit.
Yeah,
but.
she's a hard-headed, oh my God. Oh my God. Anyways, so we learned how to stay in each other's lane, like what I was good at to excel at, what Erinn's good at, which is everything, and excel at. So I just said, okay, I threw the keys and the place is hers now,
Yeah. I'm going on vacation.
Bye! Permanent vacation. But we've both moved into our season. So for me now, being 61, that I am...
Come on. Mic drop.
Mic drop. Anyway,
Allie.
Anyways, you're so cute. Anyway, you're such a goofball. So for me being that age now, that I am more thinking about, what's the next 20 years, 30 years of my life going to look like? In 20 years' time, I'm going to be 80? What the heck? How would that ever happen? But I am not that firecracker in that area of building a business that I want for Erinn, because I know this is what she wants. So it's respecting that and allowing Erinn to flourish in that, because I could still be that control freak, and I'm not always fun to be around when I'm a control freak. And I also know too that Erinn's much better at it than me. So it's just honoring the past that we are excelling at, and stepping away from what we're not. And it's beautiful.
And I think too, it was more in like those early days that we really had to work on that relationship and that dynamic, because to add to what you said, that we were literally doing the same job at the very beginning, because we didn't know what we were doing at all, right? And then we started really understanding where each person was excelling and where our strengths really lie. So for me, like, I'm really into our operations and systems and processes and growing it on like that level internally with the team, whereas Kelly is like visionary. Like, she can see something and she can see it in 3D before it's even there, and that's where her magic lies, which is so beautiful. And I think that we have such a great complementary relationship in that way, that like, I'm very like action, activate, like I can move things forward in like a generator capacity, whereas Kelly is like vision, dreaming, creative energy. So it's really cool. It's really cool.
And I love that you shared that, because that was one of my next questions of, walk me through what Erinn's role is in the business and what Kelly's role is, which I think you just answered so effortlessly. But I would also love to know, like, walk me through a day, whether, you're working from home or you're working in the bake shop, but what does a day look like for Erinn, and what does a day look like for Kelly?
Yeah. I mean, a day right now looks very different, because we're building other things right now that we will get to. So a day right now is very intense. Like, there's a lot on the go. But I would say for me, when we are like at the bake shop, I am there. I'm in meetings with our team. I'm there checking up on the quality of our baked goods. I'm there doing some marketing stuff with our team, getting content creation, building, strategizing, just growing in that capacity. I mean, a lot of the work that I do currently right now, aside from the massive project that we're undertaking, I can do it from home. So I can do a lot of things remotely with the work that I'm doing, but I do love being at the store, feeling the vibe, feeling the energy, making sure that we're building that connection and that experience for our customers, creating a great work culture, all that kind of stuff, because that's something that's obviously massive for Kelly's Bake Shop, which I'm sure we'll get into as well too. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Kelly, what about you?
So I'm sort of at a different place than Erinn. So I think that a lot of times Erinn will come to me and say, like, you know, Mom, what do you think? So I'm kind of like that person that gives the reassurance, or what do you think about doing it maybe
mentor.
this way,
Yeah.
whatever, right? In a way, you know, and again, you know, it's funny that I don't think of Erinn a lot of the times as my daughter. But I have to remind myself a lot that she is, because our interaction is like, I'm in awe of her, of the talent that she has and what she can pull off. Because even we've done the human genes, we've done, the human design, all the stuff, we know all about the gene keys, all the things that to see where we're sitting at. And Erinn is living so true to her destiny. And I am, too, being this visionary. And sometimes my day might be painting artwork. It might be doing something so different, but that's what puts me into my creative juices to go, okay, so what does this vision now look like for Kelly's Bake Shop? So how are we going to move this forward to have, 10, 20, 30 locations right across the country? How do we put one in Florida? How do we put one in California? How do we do these things, to visualize it? And you take the steps then towards it, reading the right books and listening to the right mentors, as you were mentioning too, from Tony Robbins, those kind of people. Dan Martell, we've got so many that we tap into. And it's executing those steps to materialize it. I would love to talk about Oakville.
Yeah,
here we go.
So I'm sorry, because I just sort of went ahead, because I just got a download from it there, guys. So it was like how we ended up deciding to do Oakville was such a magical moment.
Spoiler alert, we're opening our second location in beautiful downtown Oakville. So
And
so
word on the
excited.
street is it's like the best Christmas present ever to arrive in downtown Oakville, Ontario.
We can't wait.
So excited.
Yeah,
awesome.
We're so excited. We're just so honored we're able to do this for our community, because we do know that it's loved, and we love doing it. So it's our honor to serve.
You were going to talk about how we found it.
I know, I was getting to it.
So I want to make sure we kind of segued.
So I had finished speaking to actually a couple different mentors, actually, and people that were astrologically inclined. So to say that kind of stuff, I was like really tapping into and learning more about the stars and the alignment of the planets. For we are all so individual, and it helps us tap into our gifts. So Erinn and I were meeting for our coffee little date thing in Thornbury, and Erinn was sitting there with her laptop and stuff and doubling down, and I said to her, what would it look like for us to expand into another location right now? I said, I just finished talking to someone last night, and it really inspired me a lot, and said for the next 3 months that everything I'm going to be doing is just going to be turning to the Midas Touch Gold. Everything for the next 3 months, just Midas Touch. everything I was going to do. And I was so inspired with this conversation that I had with this individual. And I said, why don't we just look on realtor.ca? Let's go just check it out. So we pull it up and we go into realtor.ca, and there was a listing that just came on the market the day before.
Come on. Basically the day that you had the conversation
Yes,
with this mentor.
and there's just the day before. Yeah, exactly. It was basically a brand new renovated bakery that didn't make it on Lakeshore in downtown
the
Oakville.
heart of downtown.
I went,
Yeah.
what?
So we instantly, Kelly's like, I'm going to call the agent right now. So she jumps on the phone. She's like, tell me everything you can about this unit. And he said, well, in 24 hours, I've had 14 interested parties and 6 showings already. So if you guys are interested, come on down. We came down.
The next day,
Bring
we
your
were down.
checkbook.
Yeah, we gave him all the baked goods, all the treats and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
anyways,
sweet talked him.
it was great.
Talk to him.
Yeah,
Sweet
sweet
talked
talked him. Yeah. That's when we do sweet talk, and we got it. So
That's amazing.
it was so serendipitous. It was so in alignment with just. It's been effortlessly flowing. That's how we feel right now.
I was just gonna say, how do you feel? Like, understanding, obviously, everything takes work and renovations. Things can pop up. Obviously, it can cost more money than you probably budget for.
Oh, yeah.
But I know you have a great contractor.
Yes.
But how are you feeling in this process, knowing that it's not, this isn't a dream that you've had for 10 years, and now it's happening. It's something that has had this magical momentum behind it. How do you feel in the moment, knowing that in a couple weeks or month, whatever it may be, you're going to be opening your second location?
It feels surreal, to be honest, and it just feels very effortless. Like it's just, everything's falling into place. And yeah, like to add to what you're saying, of course, it's a massive lift because we have the renovations and the construction side of things and the design side of things, which we have an incredible team supporting us in that. But then there's also a massive lift in Kelly's Bake Shop, like the internal operations, because then we have systems and procedures and things of how everything's gonna work, because we're gonna be producing the majority of our baked goods from Burlington, treating it as more of like a production facility there, and then delivering a lot of goods to Oakville, doing some finishing there in Oakville, some baking in Oakville, but it's a logistical thing now, and putting the right leadership team in place, and like how everything's going to work and flow. So the hiring is like on another level. We're going to have close to around 45 staff by the time Oakville opens, which again, it's like we're adding like another 15 or so incredible humans to the team, and making sure that they're a great culture fit and like they're aligned with our values and like all that kind of stuff.
Making sure they're trained well.
Yeah, trained well. Like it's everything.
It's a beautiful process.
Yeah.
Erinn's got it handled so incredibly, and I want to say this too, that to expand Kelly's Bake Shop is all on Erinn, because I went through so much over the last 4 years with COVID and shutdowns and all the things we went through. Personal stuff, which could be a whole other
Part 3 and 4.
And but I made it to the other side with incredible adversity and just rose to that challenge. And I know that I've become a much stronger person from it. But from that, so all the seeds got planted to this day now. But Erinn's dream has always been, Mom, we got to expand. We got to expand. People want it. People love us. They just want our products everywhere. And so here we are, I know, filling Erinn's dream and mine too. So it's something that is we're just so grateful for being in this moment in time and just being able to just celebrate it and embrace it and allow it to kind of alchemize through. So going, okay, so here's another growth level again. Here's another growth level again. It just keeps on coming. But it's learning to assimilate it into our new body, I call it, with the soul, and it's just changing our consciousness too, because you're going, all of a sudden you got 45 staff. What's the Christmas party going to look like?
It's like are we adding plus one? Are we making it like a 90?
Right.
200?
Yeah.
Erinn, what's your dream for a number of locations?
It's varied a lot over the years. I would say 10 would be incredible.
All in Canada?
No, I would say in the States as well.
Yeah.
There's a massive, massive market for us. And just to back it up for a second, we have people that over the years have flown in from Florida, from Texas, from Oklahoma, from California. People will drive from Montreal for like a weekend and come and get treats and turn around and drive home. And we are so blessed and so honored that that's the impact of our business, of our little bake shop in downtown Burlington.
They're coming in special for Kelly's and then flying back to Oklahoma or Florida or whatever.
It's unbelievable.
It's incredible.
Like this is their carry-on, their personal bag.
Yes, exactly. So like we've created just this beautiful place that people come to, and this place of connection, this place of joy, and just bringing people together. Because for us, it's like our mission is to just bring people together with our baked goods and to not exclude anyone, because so many people are often left excluded because everything that we do is gluten-free, plant-based, dairy-free, egg-free, and peanut-free. So everyone can enjoy dessert together.
All of the allergens.
Yes.
Or I guess for like kids' birthday parties, and you go and, I know I've had friends that come to the bake shop to get something specific for their child to take to a birthday party that they're going to, because they know that they have a delicious, happy treat to enjoy with their friends at this birthday party.
Exactly.
I do want to chat about it because I feel like it's sort of been popping in just serendipitously about a love brand. And this wise friend of mine Britt Driscoll, who's been a big part of Dry Bar and Squeeze, she talks about building a love brand. And I think that Kelly's absolutely is a love brand, where people clearly love Kelly's to travel by plane to come to the bake shop, collect their treats, and return home via plane. But you can hear it in our community in downtown Burlington, Ontario, downtown Oakville, Ontario, and of course online and all over the world. But what have you done from a messaging, branding, community? I think there's so many layers here. What have you done to really successfully create a love brand?
Go for it, Cal.
Well, I think it goes to that authenticity again, and really not being afraid to, I'm just going to talk from my own experience in it, wear your heart on your sleeve. And when I was 3 years old in nursery school, the first word that I learned how to spell was love. And I remember coming home from nursery school and running around the house, driving my parents nuts, spelling L-O-V-E, L-O-V-E. And I drove them nuts. But I was raised with just that feeling that like love is everything. Like there is only one truth in this world, and that is love. And going back to Kind Food, before we had opened up Kelly's Bake Shop, really one of the biggest catalyst for me was to realize that we had to take the desserts out of Kind Food, which then turned into Let Us Love, but that's another story. So Kind Food, we took the baked goods out of Kind Food and put them into Kelly's Bake Shop at 401 Brand Street with a whole different brand, a whole new location, was because of the number of people that came to me and said, we just got to have our first birthday party with the whole family together because of what you provided. She says, do you know what kind of love there is now for that whole family that got to celebrate a birthday or an anniversary or a wedding or possibly even a funeral happens. You're not celebrating a funeral, but you're getting together as a family, but you get to do it together. And there was no separation. And I mean, I cried. That was the moment when I realized how important what we did had to get out there. And I think that we have Kelly's kindness. So when a customer comes in, and we give all the staff the ability to give product away for free.
Oh, I love that.
If someone's having a bad day,
you go talk.
If someone's having a bad day, or they see maybe a mom struggling with their little kid, or just something, or they just want to just be generous. It's just all about, to us, it's about generosity. It's about leading from a place of being heart-centered, and that is one of our core values at Kelly's Bake Shop. So that's something that our team really embodies day in, day out on like a micro level, is creating that beautiful experience for our customers. So when people come in, they often say, I just feel good when I'm at Kelly's Bake Shop. Like there's just something about it. Like your team are smiley, everyone's so happy, they're so positive. People are asking me about my life when I go in there. It's just a beautiful experience. The lighting's nice, the music's nice, it's just a good vibe. And that ties into everything that you're saying, is like the experience on a micro level, and just that beautiful connection of people being able to celebrate together on more of a macro level.
And it doesn't happen. We've lost our connection to one another on so many levels. Yeah. And we will, till the day I die, is just fighting to bring people back together again. To no matter what your beliefs are, no matter what you think in this world, we don't care. We just love everybody.
And want to provide love.
Yes.
And you do an excellent job of that.
Thank you.
And it's so nice to hear your passion behind that, as also a fellow brick and mortar owner, that I think there is something so special about being able to go into a place, going into a business, and feeling the energy and the magic and the community and the connection that you experience from that. If it is a service-based business, like we're a gym, so we're providing a service for you to come and work out, exercise, and you're providing amazing product that is also catering to a whole boatload of people that typically wouldn't be able to enjoy such a delicious product. And you're not only solving that problem, but you're creating an experience that makes them feel joyful.
Absolutely.
And make people feel connected. And you also do such a wonderful job of being present in your community. So now it's not one, but it's two, soon 10. Soon
Watch
10.
out.
Do you have any magic formula for what you think about when you get involved in community events that is an extension of both of you, but also the Kelly's brand as a whole?
No real magic formula. I would honestly just say like working with people that we love, like yourself, Allie, just people of like high frequency, just high vibrational energy that are doing incredible things themselves, and that who we just feel aligned with. Like to us, it comes from the heart. It really, really does. Like there's no like checklist. We're like, okay, does this person fit the criteria? It's like, no, like
there's an intuitive knowing.
Yeah.
And we will, with charity wise too, is we don't, I mean, I think that we are moving towards creating our own foundation for that.
That seems like an energetic match.
Yeah. And
that feels good to me.
Yeah. And it's on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
So I call it, the vision board. So, but when people reach out to us, we feel the alignment with that, charity or not, and like one of the big ones we always love is the Down syndrome group, and like the Halton's Women's Shelter. Like there's ones that we, are just like always with us all the time. And so yeah, we're just this business that is authentic, and I think that is what we are moving back to now. I think we went so far down a path of inauthentic businesses and the influencing stuff that's happened in the world and the fakeness that's happened in the world. It's never resonated with me, and I know it's never resonated with you. And I think the pendulum is swinging now.
People are smart.
Yes,
what they're consuming,
and they can smell it. They can smell it. From a mile away, whether you're real or not. And that's just we're not going to cave. We are who we are, and we just will always love. That's just our default.
Yeah.
The lesson that I've found quite quickly in business ownership, especially the time in which Matt and I entered the world of brick and mortar entrepreneurship, that's not prime, but here we are. I learned that, us personally, whether it's just us humans and the business owners, I'm not going to be for everyone. I'm not going to be everyone's glass of or cup of tea.
Yeah.
I would rather be someone's glass of champagne.
Right.
And same with the business. Like you're not going to be everything for everyone, and we see that at Benchmark that. Sometimes people come in for a tour and you can read people's energy and you're like, ooh, actually we're full.
Yeah.
Happy to put you on a wait list. Because you also want to think of everybody else in your community.
Yes.
Because you don't want to have
Sure.
a negative seed come in that's going to dilute the experience that you've worked so hard to create every day.
Yeah.
You, your team, the music you play, the decisions you make.
Sure.
That's really important for what you want to create when building a brand, building the experience, and who's on the other side to be able to enjoy it.
100%, and that just goes in line with like hiring the right team. You're talking about bringing on new clients and all that great stuff into the gym. But then with us, it's like hiring the right individuals. It's like, are you aligned with our values? Is there like a good energetic match here? Like, do you have butterflies going on right now? Okay, like are you feeling good? Yeah, like is everything good? So yeah, just really making sure that that's all in alignment is massive, because you don't want to ruin the beautiful thing that you've just spent years and decades creating.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you took 30 seconds and shared this on social media, send it to a friend, or leave a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I am so grateful to have you part of mine.